Now, on the other side of the tracks, you got Adrenaline Mob, which releases its debut, Omerta, in March as well, I think a week or two before. How did you connect with Russell Allen and Mike Orlando to put that one together?
Well, Russell is somebody I've been friends with for years. I took Symphony X out as an opening act for Dream Theater in America and Europe in 2005 and 2007, and he and I became great friends. He's such an easygoing, lovable guy, and obviously, musically, I've always admired him. He's always been one of my favorite singers and frontmen, and I just knew that he and I were destined to do something together. And when my time became available post Dream Theater and Avenged Sevenfold, one of the first phone calls that I received was from Russ, saying, "Hey, check out this music I've been working on with this guitar player named Mike Orlando." And I heard the demos that those two have been working on and was instantly floored and instantly on board.
And then this week you also announced John Moyer from Disturbed has joined the band as well. What made you reach out to John?
Mm-hmm. I knew John from when Disturbed and Avenged Sevenfold toured together summer of 2010. And John was just perfect for the Mob for three reasons. I mean, first of all, personally, he's just such a sweet guy, an easygoing guy, so I knew that he'd fit in personally. Secondly, musically, coming from Disturbed's background, I knew that it would be a good musical fit for what the Mob is about. And then third, and probably most importantly, is that with Disturbed on a indefinite hiatus, it made him available and without any other attachments or commitments, which was an issue with our previous bass player,
right?
Who just had other commitments and things that he couldn't fully commit himself to the Mob in 2012, and we needed somebody that is gung ho and ready to go with nothing holding them back. So with Disturbed's current status, it was really perfect timing for us to reach out and get John.
I thought it was kind of ironic when I first heard you tap John, because the first song that I heard off the album, Undaunted, first thing I thought was it's really got a Disturbed vibe to it.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Now, did with this band, obviously, because it's very different than Flying Colors, did you guys have specific goals when creating Adrenaline Mob?
Well, Adrenaline Mob was all about the riffs and the grooves and the melodies, and tapping into the whole world of Disturbed and Godsmack and Pantera and Black Label Society. I had just come off doing the Uproar tour with Avenged Sevenfold, and we were out with Disturbed and Stone Sour and Hell Yeah, and I was looking for something like that. So when this music came around, to me, it was the perfect project at the perfect time. I just wanted to do something with big riffs and a bouncing groove, and one of those albums where it's just song after song after song, which is just slamming and memorable. And that was kind of the goal of Adrenaline Mob. Make one of those albums like AC/DC's Back in Black or Van Halen 1, where just every song is strong in its own right, and it's just slamming from top to bottom.
So relative to the EP that came out first, what can fans expect then from Omerta?
Well, the EP was just a quick little taster,
right?
Only because we got offered the Godsmack tour, and we didn't want to hit the road with nothing for people to hear. So we put that out just as a quick little sneak preview. But Omerta obviously takes those tunes to a whole other level, because it benefits from the mix of Jay Rustin, who just did an amazing job of blowing up the album and making it sound so fucking huge. So it benefits from that, as well as, proper, packaging and all that stuff. So realistically, the EP was just a collector's item just to give people a sneak preview. But now this is the real deal.
Now, I asked with Flying Colors, with so many irons in the fire, will there be an Adrenaline Mob tour?
Absolutely. Adrenaline Mob will be much easier to get on the road than Flying Colors, because, first of all, everybody is pretty much available and committed to the Mob. And second of all, we're definitely a live band. I mean, I think that is the strength of this band, and we learned that once we did some touring last year. So Adrenaline Mob will be on the road imminently after the album is released, and the dates are forthcoming soon. They're getting booked now. But yeah, Adrenaline Mob is absolutely a live band, first and foremost.
Excellent. Now, Now for my Barbara Wawa question. It was
Okay.
also it was also announced this month that the Power Trio project you'd been working on with John Sykes and Billy Sheehan isn't going to happen now, at least not with John. My
Right.
understanding is you guys had already recorded some material. What will happen with that?
Well, they were John's songs.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I played on 12 demos that John had, and then Billy came in and played bass on I think 4 or 5 of them, and that was what was used, to send out and shop for a record deal and all that kind of stuff. And we were waiting to start the album, and the stuff that I worked on with John was great, and I was real excited about it, and loved the idea of working with John. He's a sweet guy, and we got along great, and I obviously really admire his his talents. But let's just say we have very different work ethics. I like to do, and let's go, and I'm ready to go. And whereas John, it's more a lot of talking and waiting and talking and waiting. And, I kept waiting to start the album and would give John, Billy and I were both waiting to start the album, and we'd give John, a window of opportunity that would come and go, and then another window of opportunity that would come and go. And, as sad as I was to say it, Billy and I basically just got tired of waiting and decided to move on just
Right.
because, we want to work and we want to make music. We don't want to sit around talking about it. We want to do it. So it's a shame, and I wish John all the best. I do, but I just need to move forward. I can't sit still.
We've sort of seen that with you. Always got to have something going on. So, and the buzz is you're still working at putting something together with Billy and another guitarist, sort of that power trio thing. One name that's popped up that I've heard is Richie Kotzen, but what can you share with us?
Yeah, me, Billy, and Richie are working together, and we've started working on some stuff that's awesome, and now it's a matter of scheduling it and getting it going, and it's probably something that won't come to surface till 2013 at this point, but it's definitely something that's in the oven and cooking. We'll just have to wait and see when it's ready to come out of the oven.
What did you take away from the Avenged Sevenfold experience?
It was an amazing experience. I absolutely love their fans and how incredibly open and welcoming they were to me. That just made me feel great. And it came at a tough point in my career, with all the drama surrounding me leaving Dream Theater. So, the comfort of their fans really meant a lot to me. And, the experience of playing with the guys, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I could be there for them. And I think, I served as a bridge to get them to where they needed to go, and they served as a bridge for me to get me to where I needed to go. And, here we are. And I think we both moved on to where we needed to be, and we're doing it. And I just, I look back with fond memories of the whole experience.
About the only thing you haven't done yet, it seems, is a female-fronted metal band. If you were ever to put something like that together, who would be on your short list to sing?
Well, I had a little taste of it when I called up Lizzie Hale and had her sing on one of the Adrenaline Mob songs. Lizzie came in and she sings on Come Undone, so hearing her and Russ do a duet together was absolutely amazing. I get goosebumps, every time I hear her come in. It's an amazing duet.
So I almost forgot to ask about that too, because Lizzie is hands down my favorite female singer right now. How did you come to tap Lizzie to do that song?
Well, I knew Lizzie from when we did Uproar together, and we've become friends. And when we were recording Come Undone, we started, saying that it would be great to have a female singer in there. And I mentioned to the guys that I knew Lizzie, and we knew that she would be absolutely amazing. And as soon as I called her, she was totally on board and totally psyched to do it. So worked out great, and she absolutely took the song to a whole new level of intensity.
Nice, and I can't wait to hear that. So, last question then before we get out of here. Your core lies in progressive rock and metal. What are your essential prog metal albums?
I'd have to say Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. I'd have to say, I have to pick a Fates Warning album. I'll say Awaken the Guardian by Fates Warning. Dimension Hatred by Voivod. Those are all 80s albums. They're going to move forward into the 90s and 2000s. Let me see. I'm not going to pick a Dream Theater album. right? I mean, I probably shouldn't.
I don't know. Is what I would like to think at least one Dream Theater is an essential progressive metal album.
Well, I'll sidetrack that for a minute, and I'll say Mastodon's last album, Crack the Sky. And then, all right, only because you're asking for it, I'll throw in a Dream Theater album, and I'd have to say Train of Thought, just because it's more metal than prog, so I think it's a true combination of progressive metal.
Nice. Excellent. Mike, thanks so much for taking the time. I want to tell everybody out there, for the record, no new Mike Portnoy projects were started during the making of this interview.
I'm not so sure about that. Actually, I was emailing and creating a new band with somebody else while we were talking, so yeah, I'm not even so sure about that.
Mike, thanks again so much for taking the time. We can't wait to see you out on the road with Adrenaline Mob, and obviously we'll be looking forward to Flying Colors too. The Flying Colors album, like I said, I haven't heard the Adrenaline Mob completely yet, but the Flying Colors is just fantastic. But we're looking forward to hearing all of it.
I think it's important for people to hear both, because I don't think you can hear one or the other and say, oh, this is what Mike Portnoy is doing after Dream Theater. I think you need to hear both to kind of understand the big picture and the whole story of where I'm at in 2012. So people should check out both to hear the yin and the yang.
Absolutely. From the mouth of Mike Portnoy. Mike, thanks again, and we'll talk with you real soon.
Thank you, man.